Hey there, fellow musicians and YouTube friends around the world. Steve here. Today I'm going to review and demo the Mackie Mix12 effects mixer that I have right here. Let's get to it. Alright, there's a look at the box of the mixer. If you purchase the mixer by itself, you can get it for about 129 bucks. I purchased it from Z-Sounds, and I got the bag and the mixer, the gator bag and the mixer, for $149. Okay, real quick, I just want to start off by doing a size comparison. This is the Mackie Mix12 effects mixer, and this is the Pro Effects 12 mixer. Big difference in size, and of course there's going to be a difference in price. Now, when you're purchasing a mixer, you really have to look at the features in each mixer. They're all different, and that's going to reflect on the price, but I'll get to that later. I think I'm just going to leave this out for now because I might want to make some comparisons, but let's check out the Mix12 effects right now. Here's a closer look at the Mackie Mix12 effects 12-channel mixer. And it is a 12-channel mixer. As you can see, you have 4 XLR inputs right there, and you have 4 stereo inputs right there. So technically, it is a 12-channel mixer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But in reality, you're really only going to be plugging 8 instruments in there at the max. As you can see down here, you have 8 level knobs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So all the companies do this to market it, so it seems like you're getting more for your money, but in reality you're only going to be putting 8 instruments in here at any one given time. Now over here you can see on the first 4 channels we have gain knobs right here, and if I come down here, the first 4 channels also have a 3-band EQ. So we have high, mid, and low. And the first 4 channels, if I zoom in a little bit here, you have low cut filters rated at 75 Hertz. Now, if you don't know what a low cut filter does, in a nutshell, it helps keep your mix from getting muddy. It's basically used to keep the lows of the guitar and vocals out of the lows of the bass and kick drum. So you would use this on guitar and vocals. You would engage the button, and if you were using these channels for bass and kick, you'd keep them disengaged. Now 75 Hertz, not much is going below 75 Hertz other than your kick drum. If I go to my old mixer, you could see the low cut filter is rated at 100 Hertz. So again, when you compare mixers, this is something to look at. You might have low cut filters as much as 200 Hertz or 250 Hertz. Okay, and if I come over here on these first 4 channels, as I just talked about, those are low cut filters. But on the stereo channels, they're no longer low cut filters. This is a +4 or -10 dB of operation for the stereo channels. Below that, you can see each channel has an effects knob, which is really good. So you could add effects to each channel. And over here, the first 4 channels have pan knobs, but channels 5 through 12, the stereo channels, they turn to balance knobs. There's a difference between balance and pan, and I'll get to that later when I demo the board. And the first technically 12 channels have their own individual level knob. Okay, we have one master volume right here. Let me get back over here. You do have clip lights, which is good for each channel to see if the channel is clipping. That's an important feature to have. Over here we have the effects. You have a choice of 12 effects that you can use. We have a small stage, a small room, a large room, a warm hall, a bright hall, classic plate, bright plate, vocal plate, chorus, flanger, slapback, and space echo. Okay, this is the effects to main knob right here. We have a button that controls to the control room, button that controls to the main. We have headphone volume. We have phantom power that goes to the first 4 channels. We have your meters over here. and we have tape inputs and outputs. We have a phone jack, an effects send. This can go to your control room if you're using it in a studio setting. We have 1/4-inch outs to the speakers. So if you're using this live, you're going to be using I'll show you right here. You're going to be using a 1/4-inch to XLR male. So right here, that's the cord you need to hook up speakers. 1/4-inch to XLR male. Okay. Now the board does not come with a power button. You just have the adapter input right there. So that's really not a big deal, but this does not come with a power button. I'm going to hook it up right now. And always remember, do not turn on your speakers until the board is powered up. So I'm going to power it up right now. We'll get to it. All right, I have it all powered up. Now I'm just going to plug in the speakers. All right, now I'm plugging in the speaker. And the mixer is already on, so I could turn the speaker on. Okay, I'm going to hook a guitar and mic up to it in a second, let you hear how the guitar sounds with some effects and the vocal sound with some effects. But first I want to get back to a couple of things. I want to explain the difference between the pan and the balance. And to do that, first I have to show you how I have the speakers set up. That Mackie 12 on the top is going to be the left speaker, and that Mackie 15 on the floor, that is going to be the right speaker. Now if I come over here, I have a drum machine hooked up to it, and for demo purposes I'm just putting a kick all the way to the right. So I'm going to press play, and if I come over here and you see we're in channel 12, the balance knob is all the way to the right. Now if I turn that balance knob all the way to the left, that kick is going to disappear. Okay, so now it's gone. It's not coming out. If I turn it back to the right, it's coming out, and to the left, it's not coming out. So now let me show you what the pan knob does. Okay, now I have the drum machine hooked up to channel 1. I'm going to hit play on the drum machine, and I have it panned hard right now. Now when I move it and pan it to the left, it's going to go from the Mackie 15 to the Mackie 12. Okay, so now it's coming out of the 12. I'm going to turn it all the way. I'm going to pan it hard to the right. Now it's coming out of the 15. So that's the difference between what the pan knob does and the balance knob does. Okay, the pan knob basically moves it from the right to the left, and the balance knob either basically just shuts that side off or turns it on. Alright, now I plugged my guitar into channel 1 here, and we're just going to get a signal, and I'm going to start turning up the gain here. And if you look down here, we're going to see if it clips. So I'm going to just start hitting my E string on the guitar. I'll turn up the gain, and you can see it starts to clip there. So now I'm going to back off the gain a bit. I'll leave it right about there, and now I'll turn up the volume. Okay, now let's get back to the low cut filter here. So right now the filter is disengaged. I'm going to engage it. I'm going to push that button in, and you'll hear a difference in the sound. Now it's disengaged, and you'll hear the lows coming through more. I'll press it in, and you'll hear the lows cut a little bit. Alright, so that's in a nutshell what the low cut filter does, and I have it engaged. Alright, now I'm just going to strum a chord and run through the EQ real quick. I'll start with the high. See how bright it got? Now I'll cut the high all the way down. Now I'll go with the mids. Turn the mids down. Do the same thing with the lows. And the mids, the lows down. We'll just brighten it up a little bit. All right, now I'm just going to play a couple of chords here and let you hear the effects. This is the small stage. Now we'll move into a small room. Okay, now we're going to move to a large room. Right, now we're going to move to a warm hall. You know, kind of carries off on the warm hall there. Now I'll do a bright hall. Okay, now I'll do a classic plate. Go from classic plate to a bright plate. I'll go to a vocal plate. Now we'll go to a chorus. Don't think too much of the chorus. Let's go to the flanger. Really hearing much of a flange effects. Turn it up a little bit. Maybe we need a little bit more to get that out. Let's see. There we go. You got to really crank it to get the Let's just go back to the chorus for a second. See how that sounds. Alright, so you do get a good amount of chorus and flanger, but it seems like you really have to kind of crank up the effects to the main and the effects for the channel. Alright, so let's move to 11, which is going to be slap back. See what that sounds like. I don't think I'd have much use for that, and let's just for the hell of it check out Space Echo. Kind of cute, but really don't think I'd be using that. Okay, let's do a vocal check on it now. I have a Shure 58 hooked up to channel 1. Just going to get a level. I'm going to watch the clip light right here. Check 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I'm going to back it off a little. Check 2, 2, 2. I'll leave it right about there. And we'll bring up the level. Check 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Check 1, 2. Okay, we'll leave it there. And we'll start off with the first effect, which is a small stage. You can't be a lover when you're always undercover, and you can't always run away. All right, we'll move to a small room. You can't be a lover when you're always undercover, and you can't always run away. Go to a large room. You can't be a lover when you're always undercover, and you can't always run away. Do a warm hole. You can't be a lover when you're always undercover, and you can't always run away. Go to a bright hole. It's a bright hole. You can't be a lover when you're always undercover, and you can't always run away. Okay, now we'll go to a classic plate. Classic plate this is. You can't be a lover when you're always undercover, and you can't always run away. All right, this is going to be a bright plate. You can't be a lover when you're always undercover, and you can't always run away. All right. This is a vocal plate. You can't be a lover when you're always undercover, and you can't always run away. Okay, now let's move to, this is going to be the chorus, so let's turn it up a little bit. You can't be a lover when you're always undercover, and you can't always run away. I'll move to flanger. Back it off just a bit. You can't be a lover when you're always undercover, and you can't always run away. All right, and this is going to be slapback. Let's turn it down a bit. You can't be a lover when you're always undercover, and you can't always run away. And just for giggles, let's do the space echo. You can't be a lover when you're always undercover, and you can't always run away. All right, I have the guitar, the drum machine, and the vocals going through the Mackie Mix12 effects. Let's hear how the whole thing sounds. Round and round, never knowing what to do, but love the sound, yeah. We've been caught up, baby, and we're losing time, but I'm fine right here with you. I wanna tell you all about my day. Let the sun go down behind the shades, and I just slip away. Let the night just slip away. Okay, now I'm going to tell you what I like and I don't like about the board. Let's start with the size. It's nice and compact and small, so it's easy enough to carry to gigs, and it's small enough where I could leave it out on my coffee table at home and use it for rehearsals or when I'm practicing by myself. I like the compact size of it. At $129, the price is right, and considering that you get built-in effects with the board, that's a plus. It was also important to me that I had enough inputs for my duo. I needed at least 7. I play bass, guitar, sing, and have the drum machine, and my partner sings, plays guitar, and plays keyboard. So I needed enough inputs, and this board covers me with that. The 3-band EQ is nice, but it would be nicer if it went across every channel. I would prefer the low-cut filter to be somewhere between 100 and 150 hertz. It's not, it's down at 75, but that's okay. I could live with that. It's also nice that every channel has effects on it. So you could put effects on every channel. That's always a plus. What I don't like about it is I don't like the fact that there are no mute buttons on the board. So you can't mute any individual channel and you can't mute the mains. You would just have to pull down the fader on the main or pull down the levels on the channel. So that's kind of on the bad side, but I could live with it. It does have phantom power. I won't be using it. I wouldn't use this board to run a condenser mic. And the reviews I read about it is the phantom power isn't that great. It's kind of noisy. So if you're buying a board for that purpose, you might want to skip this one. I'd also prefer XLR outs for the speakers rather than the 1/4 inch, but that's okay. And the fact that it doesn't have a power button, well, I could live with that. That's really not a big deal. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with the board. It's going to suit my purpose. And that's it for now. I hope the review was good for you. Happy music making, and as always, please subscribe. I'll catch you next time.